Typical weight loss results in a lot of muscle loss. This slows the metabolism, makes you feel weaker, and also just makes it so much easier to gain that weight back. That's why if you really want to achieve a weight loss goal, the goal shouldn't be to lose weight, but to lose body fat while keeping muscle mass. This helps you maintain your metabolism and your strength while you're losing body fat and improving your body composition. So today I'm sharing 5 science-backed and simple tools to help you actually lose body fat while maintaining muscle. Let's dive into it. My name's Autumn. I'm a certified clinical nutritionist with my master's nutrition human performance, and today's video is sponsored by Element. More on them in a bit. Okay, the first one might come as a little bit of a shock, but it's to work out once a week. So having enough muscle helps your body to lose fat while maintaining your metabolism. And one of the main factors of actually keeping muscle mass is making sure that you're working out properly. But interestingly, you don't need to be killing yourself at the gym to see results, but you do need a good base. And there's a really recent study that found out exactly how often you need to do this in order to maintain muscle mass. The study had participants for 12 weeks work out for 2 days per week to build up muscle as well as cardiovascular fitness. During that time, they gained 29% of muscle strength, they increased muscle mass by 13%, and then their cardio fitness improved by 19%. And that's after just 12 weeks, which is a pretty short time. And keep in mind, only working out 2 days per week. But here's where it gets even more interesting. So after that really conservative base was built where you were able to increase all factors of fitness with muscle strength as well as cardio with just 2 days of exercise per week, then the scientists took those people and broke them up into 3 groups. The first only worked out once per week, the second worked out every other week, and then the third just completely didn't work out at all. Now what they found is that the no training results, as you can see with this graph, quickly dropped off in all the different benefits that they received from the 12 weeks of exercise. However, just working out 1 day a week literally perfectly maintained the results that they achieved during those first 12 weeks. Even working out every other week really slowed the muscle loss and the strength loss, but literally just 1 day of exercise per week, once they had that simple 12-week base, maintain their results. Which is great if you are looking to achieve a fat loss goal, because you don't have to be spending so much time at the gym to be seeing results. You can be just working out once you have that base of even just 12 weeks for 1 day a week, so you can fit it into your schedule and actually make it realistic for your life. Okay, the second is to load up on pre-cooked protein sources. Now, exercise is that stimulus needed to tell the body to keep muscle even during that weight loss process. However, we also need the building blocks to maintain that muscle in the first place too. And that's where protein comes into play. Because if you're just exercising, you're just tearing down your muscles and not actually providing the building blocks to rebuild it. And we talk about protein a lot on this channel. For a lot of people, getting about 30 grams of complete protein per meal is going to do the trick. And although we could get into the nitty-gritty of actually calculating out how much of protein each person needs, the biggest thing I found is the practicality around getting enough protein. Because getting more protein is not always the most practical component of nutrition. It's pretty easy to add some fat, it's pretty easy to add some carbs, but adding protein requires that you cook it, it requires time, and oftentimes it might even require a little bit of basic cooking knowledge too. So if you're somebody who doesn't have a lot of time to prepare your own food, or if you just don't simply want to be cooking all of your meals, having pre-cooked or shelf-stable options for protein is going to be a game changer. That way you can easily add any type of protein to any of your meals or use it as the base of any of your meals, and make sure that you're getting the adequate amount of protein to keep the muscle so your body can hold on to muscle while losing body fat. And here's some of my top favorite pre-cooked or pantry stable options. Canned tuna is fantastic. I love the brand Safe Catch. On that same note, canned salmon or anchovies or sardines, all of those are fantastic pre-cooked protein options. Each are going to be high in protein, but also rich in anti-inflammatory omega-3 fats. Plus, for most people, you can usually just get 1 full can and expect that to be 1 serving. Like for the canned tuna that I mentioned earlier, the brand that I get has about 40 or 42 grams of complete protein per can. So I'll literally just take that can of tuna when I'm really in a pinch for time and dump it on top of a salad with the other ingredients and call it a day. Beef or bison jerky is also fantastic, especially if you are traveling or if you just need something fast and easy on the go. Meat sticks are also very similar, and you can get that in a variety of different protein options. Like they do have beef, they do have bison, but I've also seen turkey options too. So if you're a fan of beef, then you can go for more of a poultry option. My all-time favorites, cottage cheese, skyr, and Greek yogurt. These are so high in protein. They're also really rich in vitamin K2, which is so important for heart health and bone health. And you can make a very simple like cottage cheese bowl or skyr yogurt bowl or Greek yogurt bowl that is rich in protein and takes literally like a minute to prepare. In fact, if you haven't already seen my absolutely viral cottage cheese bowl recipe, I'll have it linked right up here. It is a must. Eggs are also really great to have on hand because they last for a while in the fridge and they are so fast and so easy and require very minimal cooking skills to prepare. Pre-cooked frozen sausages that you can just take out of the freezer are also great. Rotisserie rotisserie chicken is another one of my favorites that you can just buy at the grocery store and take pieces off whenever you need it to add to like a salad or to use as the base of a dinner. And then if you're plant-based, tempeh or tempeh bacon is a really great high protein plant-based option. And before we move on to the next tip, I want to give a huge thank you to today's sponsor, LMNT. LMNT is an amazing electrolyte company that was specifically created with intermittent fasting, lower carb eating, and athletes in mind. It actually contains the sodium, magnesium, and potassium to help replace lost electrolytes, all without having any sugar. I've been using LMNT for over 3 years. I feel so much better when I'm using LMNT. I feel properly hydrated. I don't get that like 3 p.m. energy crash. And on the rare occasion when I do forget to have an LMNT, I notice that I do feel so much lower in energy and that I'll get a little bit of a headache and I just don't feel right. But LMNT makes it so easy to remember to get my electrolytes in because it tastes so good. My all-time favorite flavor is their grapefruit salt, but they currently have their limited release chocolate medley. And each box comes with 10 chocolate raspberry, 10 chocolate chai, and 10 chocolate mint. These are really great with hot water to replace other sugary chocolate drinks while still getting your important electrolytes in. It's perfect for those cold nights when you want to cozy up with a little treat that is also in line with your wellness goals. And right now, LMNT is offering my viewers a free sample pack with any order. That's 8 single-serve packets free with any LMNT order. It's a really great way to test out all 8 flavors, so you can get yours at drinkelement.com/autumn. It is only available through a link, so make sure to check out DRINKLMNT.com/autumn. The link is also in the description down below. Okay, the third tool is to go to bed an hour earlier. More than 1/3 of Americans don't even get 7 hours of sleep a night. And there's study after study after study showing how lack of sleep, especially consistently getting lack of sleep, is absolutely detrimental to our muscle health and can actually cause more muscle breakdown, which obviously is exactly the opposite of what we're looking for with this goal of body recomposition. But on top of that, poor sleep can also really shift us over to storing more body fat. It does this through a couple of different ways. First of all, poor sleep just really increases our cravings for sugar and starchy foods. It also causes our hunger hormone ghrelin to skyrocket the next day, so you're much more hungry, and at the same time, you're craving foods like chips, crackers, and candy. But then even on top of all of that, poor sleep can also increase our stress hormone cortisol, specifically later in the day when it's supposed to be dropping down. And consistently higher levels of cortisol are tied to insulin resistance and weight gain around the belly. So just take an honest look at your sleep schedule. If you're somebody who gets like 8+ hours of sleep a night, if you wake up feeling really rested and refreshed the next day, you probably don't need to worry about this tip. However, if you're part of that more than 1/3 of Americans who are getting less than 7 hours of sleep at night, it might be time to reevaluate your sleep habits and see where you can improve it so you can improve your sleep quality as well as how long you're actually asleep. One really great unbiased tool that I like to use is some type of sleep tracker on the occasion. I have a Fitbit, so obviously I use it to track my steps, but it also does track sleep quality. It tells you like how long your deep sleep is, your REM, etc. And about 5 years ago, I got really into like adjusting my sleep and seeing what factors impact it. And having something like a Fitbit is very helpful to have that more accurate data. Although even just honestly tracking how you feel the next day can do just the same. Okay, the fourth is to swap out ultra processed carbs and fats. Studies have found that specifically ultra-processed carbs and fats have addictive-like qualities that are similar to other substances. This means that foods that have this combination of ultra-processed carbs and fats can literally hijack our brain, trick our brain into eating well beyond our body's needs. I recently did a video where I shared a new study, and it found that eating more ultra-processed foods causes us to eat about 800 more calories per day and gain about 1.1 kilograms or about 2.4 pounds in 1 week. And all that's coming from body fat, not from muscle mass. And for adult Americans, about 60% of what they eat every day is from mostly ultra-processed carbs and fats, which makes it so you just can't eat these foods in moderation. They just have this well-known addictive-like quality that makes it impossible to get ourselves to moderate what we're eating. Not to mention, they're just not nutrient-dense foods. They're not good at supporting our body and our overall health. So instead, swap out those ultra-processed carbs and fats for better alternatives. For example, instead of having chips, have baked sweet potato fries. I have a full video where I break down some of the most common ultra-processed foods in the grocery stores, as well as some really delicious swaps. If you want to check that out, I'll have it linked right up here. Okay, and the fifth really important tip is to learn to make foods that you actually enjoy. If you don't love what you're eating, you're not going to stick with it. You might be the most disciplined person, and I commend that. However, eating food and cooking and enjoying our food is literally part of what makes us human. So you can only eat really boring food that you are not loving for so long before you just eventually give in and revert to old habits. However, you don't have to revert to old habits that are ultra processed and don't support your goals if you truly truly love what you're eating. So even if you're not like a Food Network star, you can still make really delicious and simple meals that also support your goals. Like I have shared so many delicious and simple recipes in the past. The cauliflower nachos are a huge hit with families. I get DM'd every single day about just that recipe alone. My pumpkin chili recipe is another one that's a huge hit. High protein French toast from the Body Recomp program, loaded tacos, superfood parfaits. Like there's so many things that you can make that taste so good, support your goals, but also make you feel great in the process. And don't overwhelm yourself. Just start with a few simple recipes that you think you'll like and continue to experiment. That'll make your journey so much more fun and you're much more likely to actually maintain the results for the long term. In fact, I've talked a lot about those cauliflower nachos. It is so good. You need to check out that recipe. I'll have it linked right up here. Also, if you're new to my channel and you love this science-backed information, make sure you subscribe right here. Come out new videos every Tuesday and Thursday. All right, guys, thanks so much for tuning in and I'll see you in my next video.